Hi guys, BellaDonna Black here, and here are 5 truly creepy Craigslist stories. So, turn off the lights, get comfortable, and let's begin. Number 1. In 2005, Timothy Madara was the editor of a gossip column for US Weekly, and before that, he had spent more than 15 years as a columnist for the New York Post. He was well known, even respected, among certain journalism circles, but all that came to a crashing halt when he was caught up in an FBI sting operation created to catch pedophiles. And he wasn't exactly ambiguous about his desires. In response to a Craigslist post offering New York's freshest young girls, Madara said he wanted a white 14-year-old with a ponytail. So the people behind the ad set him up in a chat room with a 13-year-old girl named Julie. What he didn't know was Julie was actually an FBI agent, and after over 3 months of what was likely some very disturbing conversation, Madara agreed to meet the girl. He even offered to pay her for sex. What happened next is exactly what you'd expect. The FBI arrested Madara on his way to meet Julie, and he received 72 months in jail. Number 2. In 1988, she was convicted for robbing a pharmacy in Colorado. 9 years later, she stormed into a drug recovery program with 2 handguns and demanded prescription pills. When she was told there weren't any, she took the counselor hostage and spent the next hour taking pot shots at the police. She was finally wounded and apprehended when she hid behind a janitor's cart and used it as a rolling barricade. The judge found her not guilty by reason of insanity, and she spent the next years in a mental hospital. In short, Diane Warner was not a woman you wanted taking care of you. But nobody seemed to be too interested in Warnock's past when she entered a Craigslist ad to serve as a caregiver for a 70-year-old Mary Jane Scanlon in Pleasant Hill, California. Scanlon was confined to a wheelchair, and Warnock's duties included helping Scanlon eat and getting her in and out of bed. It was all pretty routine. And then, for no apparent reason, Warnock stabbed Scanlon to death. Police arrested Warnock at a nearby trailer park, and she received 31 years to life in prison. After her trial, Warnock claimed that she had hallucinated that she was attacking her father when she killed Scanlon. Number 3. James Sanders had a pretty sweet diamond ring. When he put it up for sale on Craigslist, he was hoping to bring at least $1,000, money that might have helped out the family. After he received a reply to the ad, he invited the prospective buyers, a young married couple, over to his house in Edgewood, Washington, so they could have a look at the ring. But all was not as it seemed. When the couple arrived that night, Sanders was home with his wife and 2 sons, aged 10 and 14. He let the couple into the house. As soon as they were inside, however, the husband put out a handgun and ordered everyone to get onto the floor. While they tied up the Sanders family, 2 more armed men forced their way into the home. One of the new arrivals got rough and smacked Sanders' 14-year-old son with the barrel of his pistol. That was more than James Sanders could take. Wrenching himself free of his restraints, he dove at the man who'd hit his son, only to be shot 3 times. He died in his wife's arms in front of his terrified children. 3 days later, a traffic stop in California led to the arrest of 3 of the suspects. 3 days later, the 4th suspect turned himself in the face of a massive statewide manhunt. The 4 of them received sentences of 79 to 123 years in prison. Number 4. According to Miranda Barbour, she was 13 years old when she participated in her first murder, a gangland-style execution in a dark alley in Anchorage, Alaska, under the guidance of the leader of a satanic cult. She shot the man because he hadn't paid the money he owed. She was already addicted to heroin and was rapidly moving up the ranks of the cult when the court ordered her to live with her uncle in North Carolina. And for a time, it seemed like life was going back to normal for Miranda. That's when she met Elite Barbour, whom she eventually married. Together they decided that they wanted to kill someone. They hoped it would bring them closer together. On November 1st, 2013, 18-year-old Miranda Barbour posted a Craigslist personal ad looking for men who hated their wives. It wasn't long before she got a response from Farah, a 42-year-old man, and agreed to meet on the night of November 11th. While her husband hid under a blanket in the back seat, Miranda waited in the front for Troy. They had a signal arranged. Whenever Miranda said, "Did you see the stars tonight?" Elite was supposed to leap out and hold the man down, and that's exactly what they did. Elite slipped a cord around Troy's neck to strangle him, and Miranda stabbed him over 20 times. Then they dumped the body in an alley, washed the car, and they went out for dinner to celebrate. Both of them were arrested the next day, and while in prison, Miranda confessed to killing 22 people in multiple states. Nobody really believes her though. Number 5. On March 18, 2015, Michelle Wilkins was glowing with joy as she made the short trip across town to the house of Daniel Lane. She was 34 weeks pregnant with a little girl. The baby was healthy, and she had just found a cheap bundle of maternity clothes on Craigslist. Just what she needed to cover that ever-growing baby bump. All she had to do was pick them up. When she reached Lane's home, Lane led her inside, where the two women talked for about an hour. Then, Wilkins followed Lane into the basement for the clothes, and the pleasant afternoon turned into a horror film. Without warning, Danielle Lane had smashed a lava lamp over Wilkins' head and shoved her on the bed. Then used a shard of glass from the broken lamp to cut Wilkins' neck. Her hands went to Wilkins' throat. There was already too much blood to get a good grip, so she pressed the pillow over Wilkins' face. Losing consciousness and terrified for both her life and the life she carried inside her, Wilkins tried one final, desperate plea for compassion. "I love you," she gasped. Lane grabbed the kitchen knife and replied, "If you love me, you'll let me do this." Then she cut Wilkins' unborn daughter from her womb and left the woman to bleed to death. Miraculously, Wilkins managed to retain consciousness long enough to dial 911, and she was rushed to surgery at the nearest hospital. And at the same hospital, just down the hall, a woman in the maternity ward tearfully clutched a stillborn child to her breast and told nurses that she had had a miscarriage. It was only later when the truth came out. Lane faces 48 years in prison for the charges. Hi guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my Facebook page and my Twitter. Both links will be found in the description below.